Welcome to another edition of Rundgren Radio Virtual Vision. What's up, Cruiser Mel?
Hola, Doug. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien.
Sí,
All
sí.
right.
Hello,
Yes.
everybody.
Hello. It hadn't been that long. Sometime last month, we had a wonderful show.
Mary Lou was on.
Kind of came out of nowhere with that one.
We've got Bill Bricker on tonight. He didn't really get a chance to tell us what was going on because we gave the whole floor to Mary Lou, and she took it. She took 2 hours.
Yeah, I've got a lot of feedback that it's one of people's favorite shows, and she was great. Good to see her feeling good and being out and about. It was fun.
Definitely.
And her announcement, singing lead at the concert, our little party, is going to be outstanding.
Yes, it's going to be so good to have her around again, and hugs galore, Yes. Hope she's ready.
All right, so folks, we'll do a couple of announcements. We got a lot of guests, though. We got some surprises for you, some good information, and a fun video we're debuting tonight from Secret Society, which you are going to enjoy. So lots of good stuff. And let's face it, Charisma, we will not top the Mary Lou show, but that's all right. We have to continue anyway.
You never know what might happen tonight. You just never know. We might have some surprises.
That's right. Never know. All right. Let's talk about the tour. It starts in a week.
Can you believe it? Finally.
Everybody's been waiting on this for 2 years. Mm-hmm. So Todd has given a hint. Deep cuts, some kind of party music, party songs and deep cuts with some kind of theatrical twist. So
still don't really understand the we fully.
Yeah, I'm sure he will explain that at some point. Yeah, so he I'm hoping he does, but the theatrical part makes me start thinking of like A. Watts and that type of thing. When he gets a pretty penny for a show, charges a lot, which they're doing, Live Nation, he I think feels the need to deliver. Because A. Watts, we didn't ask him to do any of that stuff. He just decided to do it on his own. So
that is true. We did not know. We didn't know he was going to pull out a dozen costumes or whatever.
No expectations whatsoever. Mm-mm. So this is going to be pretty wild. And, you can think about the technology's changed and the things that he's been doing, like the, State and these type of shows that had all this fancy stuff. And probably going to get one heck of a show.
Yeah. Getting started a week from tonight. Probably
spoiler
right about
alert.
Now.
If you're going to post a set list, put spoiler alert first so everybody knows.
You don't want to know?
Oh, I do, but some people don't. They get mad. All right. Yeah. So Todd released a video today. If you got our newsletter, you got it. It's about his new Global Nation, which during the video, I did watch it. He requests that we do not compare it or call it Patronet.
Okay.
So it's different. But it's some type of platform for you to be creative. You're going to have to watch it to figure it out. If you can figure it out.
Yeah. I watched the video too, and I'm not sure that I learned anything. Except that he's calling it Global Nation.
Global Nation. There's a video that's about an hour long where he presents it to investor potential. If you can't find, you probably can find that if people look for it if you really want to know. But it definitely sounds like it's for musicians and all kind of, not just musicians, any kind of artist. Anybody wants to present something on the internet.
Well, we've got an awful lot of creative people out here in Todd land. So
that is correct.
It's just all right. Content's ready. Yes.
That way, up there above Cruiser Mel is a, what do you call it? QRS code, QRC, QRS, some kind of code. If you put your camera on that, it'll take you to our GoFundMe where we're trying to raise funds for this live stream, which we're going to talk about a lot tonight. Some details about it. And, of course, to get Maurice back to Ohio, all the way from New York. Yeah, for another party with a little backdrop for our bands, which will be awesome.
Oh, I tell you, it's quite impressive in person.
It's very
impressive.
Yes. So let's talk to the guy that's going to bring it to us. Let's bring in old Mr. Chris Anderson. What's up?
Well, hello there. Hi, guys.
How you doing?
Good. I'm here in the shop, and I brought a little friend with me here. Let's see if you can.
Oh,
check it out.
Maurice.
There's some of Maurice. Awesome.
There he is.
There he is.
He's been hanging up in my shop since the last time we brought him back. And he's in excellent shape. He's in really good shape. He's been indoors the entire time since the 80s tour. You know, a lot of the pieces were stored outside and were, suffered for it. But he's been inside. He's been repainted. And I'm dying to bring him out for you guys to see him.
Oh, yeah. We're looking forward to it, seeing it again. And some people have not seen it before. They missed the Cleveland deal a few years ago. So they're excited about checking it out.
Like I said, it's very impressive in person. He's a lot bigger than you think he is.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think he stood, 18. The pyramid itself was 18 feet, and he was just about as big as that with the top and all the sides and all that stuff. So it's pretty big. You want me to tell you a little bit about the story of him and the set and all that?
100%. Yes, sir.
Well, let's see. It was one of my started with Todd in 74, 75. And I think this set was about 1980. You probably are more of a historian than I am. Is that about right, though?
I think we lost.
I think it was about 1980. I remember we set up in an airplane hangar in Newburgh, New York, and rehearsed this whole thing. Set the whole thing up. It was built by a company in Long Island called Best Tech. And there was the pyramid. There was a big, very heavy stage that we carted around. And there was what you call Maurice there. And there's a lot of stories about that. But I just remember how Todd used to climb up the pyramid. Well, I was the first guy to try that out. And climbed up there and spread my legs along the top of it, reached down, and then did the flip off the front, and my knees crashed into the drum riser, and it was really painful. And we learned from that experience that we needed to pay the rope out a little bit. So we installed a motor at the top, and Tommy Edmonds had the job of, as Todd flipped, he would uncoil the rope to a certain extent, which would give Todd a much gentler landing than I had. But it was only a result of my pain that he was able to really kind of pull that off.
Well, thank you, Chris.
So regarding Maurice, we had the entire set. Now, the entire set completely consumed one 45-foot tractor trailer. It was a huge packaging job. And it came off the road and it went in storage in our warehouse. And it basically took up about a third of the warehouse. And we needed that space for something else, for other things other than just storing that forever. And so we put out the word to the fans on one of the fan newsletters I guess.
Utopia Times.
And Todd's mom, Ruth, contacted us, and she said, I know this guy who's in upstate New York, farther upstate than I was, who has this big church. And he would love to have the whole set up in there. And believe me, I was so delighted that this large piece of art would actually have a home. And so my mentor, David Robb, who I'm not sure if you know who he is, but he was the guy that brought me into all this. And he worked for a company called Ultrasound, and Ultrasound also stored their PA system in our warehouse. And so they came off a tour, and we had a 1-day use of a tractor trailer. And so what we did was we loaded the set in and we trucked it up there. And David and I and a couple of other people set the whole thing up, the whole pyramid, Maurice, the whole thing. And the ceiling wasn't quite tall enough. The to put the pyramid in. So we had to hack a hole into the ceiling so that we went right up to the rafters. So the top of the pyramid actually went up beyond the ceiling a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I was very happy to have the space back in the warehouse, and they were very delighted to have the whole Ross set there. Mm-hmm. Until I got a phone call several years later saying, "Well, we've lost our lease on the church. And what should we do with this thing?" And so at that point, we certainly didn't want to throw it away. So it came. We had another tractor trailer available, and so we went up and we got it and packed it into that tractor trailer, and then brought that to the basement of Utopia Video and stuffed it down in there, which was quite a job to do that. And it sat there for many years. And then the owner of the Bearsville Cafe, or the Bear Cafe, his name was Peter, decided that he didn't want to have any of that. He wanted to sell the whole place. He didn't want to have all that stuff hanging around. So I made him an offer, not for the set, not for the Ross set specifically, but for all the other stuff. This was like a sort of like the attic for Bearsville Sound and Bearsville Records. And there was road cases from Janis Joplin, some of which I still have. I don't know if you can see. Well, I guess it would be this way up there. This is my warehouse, by the way. Anyway, so I made him an offer of $3,000 for the contents of the whole thing. And there was a lot of great stuff in it. But what I had to do is I had to move the set once again. And so we moved it over to my space here, and we stored most of it outside because I just didn't have the space for it. And a lot of those pieces, all the metal and the metal framework around it, all that stuff was cut up. The pyramid itself was sold to a gentleman in Rhode Island, fall. What's that?
Yeah, Dan Harper.
Dan, right? Dan Harper. So a buddy of mine, Preston, and I went over and set that up in his yard. And then the stage itself was sold, which was 8 very heavy steel and fiberglass sections. It was super heavy. And that got sold to Hunter Mountain and became an indoor stage. And it's probably still there. It was in a place, every time we did Mountain Gym and went up there, the stage was still up there. And I kept Maurice and the things that were on the side and the paws for a while, but they eventually they just disintegrated. And so here he still is. And this is what, 45 years later?
Yeah, I saw the paws in your yard one time, and I've never seen a picture of them. I don't think it's very hard to find a picture of those
the paws,
the whole thing. Yeah,
the paws were actually the stage left paw was actually an electronics rack, and it housed. It had I welded in a bunch of rack rail in there, and I had Todd's whole guitar rig in there at one point. And it was less than ideal place for that, because obviously it's right on stage. If there's anything that goes wrong or needs to be repatched or anything, you're right there in front of everybody. And so we eventually moved it out of there as it was kind of impractical. But then we had a big 6 foot high, tall electronics rack on the side of the stage, and we kept the speaker for the guitar amp was actually inside a road case with a microphone mounted in front of it. So that just rolled in, and we just plugged the amp into that and plugged out of a microphone, and that's how we were able to get his guitar sound, because it was completely isolated from everything else. It wasn't like an amp that was coming off the front of the stage. And then that sound we used in the floor monitors, and that's how they heard everything.
So let me ask you this right quick. This is I'm gonna steal the thunder because I know Jamie Van Wert's dying to ask you this question. but he's on hold right now for the Secret Society portion of the show. What if the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame wanted to borrow that bad boy for a little while? What would you say to him? You do it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, we're going to do a campaign.
It's not mine. I never claim ownership of this. I am just the, what do you call it? The curator, perhaps.
Okay. Well, who owns it then, you think?
Probably the band, I would think.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, that'd be fun to put that in there. Now, another one of our guests, Night Bill Bricker, told us that we weren't there at the Raw tour, but said that there was this video that they would show before the tour started, and some kind of screen. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because I don't really know a whole lot about that.
Well, there's a lot of. I was a house sound engineer. I was mixing the band and the show, and I was also the projectionist. And we had this. We had this actual film projector that was out, and it was in a road case, and I would set it up right next to the house console, and it was my job to show the film. I don't really remember much about what the content of the film was at this point, but one thing that was really incredible about it is Best Tech had built this collapsing movie screen that was the full width of the stage and about, I don't know, 15 feet high or 12 feet high, something like that. And basically what it was is, if you imagine, let me see if I don't know if I can do this with my phone at the same time. Anyway, there was a pole on one side of the stage, and then there's a pole on the, everything's backwards here. Let me see. The pole on one side of the stage like this, and there was a pole on the other side of the stage like this, and then there was a truss that traveled up. Where's my finger? Oh, there it is. There's a truss that traveled up, right, and pulled the screen out of this box. It was this thing weighed about 700 pounds. It was all steel. So what would happen is, when the audience came in, the screen was up, okay, and I would show the movie, and then the band would start playing, and as they played, the screen went down like this to the bottom, and then the two poles folded into the bottom one, and then this one would go. It's really hard to do this, and into the other way. You get the idea.
Yeah.
And Gene McFadden had these incredible homemade fog machines.
Yeah.
Each one was the size of a medium-sized refrigerator, okay, or a small refrigerator. And what he would do, because he was in charge of the dry ice and the other special effects, what he would do is, in the afternoon, he would get delivery of somewhere between 200 or 300 pounds of dry ice, okay? And what he would do is, instead of just, using that the way it was, he would take a hammer and he would atomize it. He would pound the crap out of this dry ice until it was almost like dust. So the surface area of the dry ice was this absolute maximum, right? And we had these two, they were like rectangular, they're that size of a refrigerator. They had a basket in the top of them, right? And in the bottom of them, it was filled about 2/3 of the way up with water. And we had two 60-amp cal rods in the bottom of it, which could boil the water. And so he would bring the temperature of the water of each of these up to absolute boiling. And then he had some sort of a release on the top that he could bring this basket full of atomized dry ice down into the boiling water. And it created so much dry ice steam. And there was one on either side of the stage, and it would basically fill the stage. But because the movie screen was up, it held all that smoke behind the movie screen. And when the film was done, the screen came down, all of that dry ice fog rolled out over the first 20 rows of the audience. And it was a great effect.
All right.
Wow.
Don't
Is that
get
what
any
you want to
ideas
know about?
from people. That sounds like too much work. Love to have a fog machine though. Hey, we're gonna bring in Veggie Girl right quick. She's lived in the church with Maurice and the pyramids.
Oh,
So
you did?
I was there that night that you pulled up that tractor trailer and we set it up and we cut a hole in the ceiling.
Yes. Oh, great. Did I get that pretty much straight?
You got it really, really accurate, actually. You didn't talk about how we blocked the street, though.
All right.
Yeah, we blocked the entire street, loaded everything in, raised the pyramid. Pyramid didn't go high enough, so they had to cut a hole in the ceiling. That was.
Did you have to get like permits for that to close the street, or y'all just kind of
No.
you just did it?
Just
These
did
are
it.
days of rock and roll, man.
But what I was explaining the last time I was on is the stage had 4 holes in it for the poles to go through.
Right.
But because we couldn't lift it high enough, the poles went outside the stage, and you had toe chains. That
Right. I had forgotten that, but that's what we had to do. We had to make the pyramid a little bit lower so it would fit, and then there were 2 very heavy duty. I think they were about, I don't know, 1/2-inch steel cables with hooks on them, and there was 4 pedestals, one in each corner, that the pyramids would have to go. The pyramid would have to go in. Normally, what we would do is we would just hook the opposite corners together, and then they would just hold the pyramid in a stable configuration.
Mm-hmm.
But as you're saying, we couldn't get it high enough there, so we had to improvise and extend those cables in some way. And you say we did it with toe chains, huh?
Yeah, we had to send them back to you. So
Yeah.
we had to get Bob, my boyfriend who owned the church. He had to get ropes or something and release the chains. But I remember, was it Dave? I think at some point he said, "I am no longer responsible for what is happening here."
Right.
It got pretty sketchy for a while there.
Right.
Well, sure fault because y'all let the lease run out.
No,
is that right?
He owned the church, so that part was actually wrong. He owned the church outright. He bought it with cash.
Why did we need to move it then?
I think he was over it. He wasn't living there anymore. I think maybe he wanted to sell it. He moved to Old Forge. He's living in the Adirondacks, and he wasn't living there anymore. So I think he just wanted it out.
I get it.
So yeah,
I know the feeling.
Yeah, it took up kind of a lot of space.
Yeah,
but it was pretty cool. But I couldn't climb that pyramid. I tried.
And there
you couldn't find it? What do you mean? Where it is now?
Climb it.
Climb it. It's hard to climb.
Yeah. That was just.
Or you couldn't climb it?
Mm-mm.
Huh?
No.
Well, it's pretty amazing. Todd used to climb it while playing guitar, and this was before the age of wireless guitar transmitters, you realize. So he had his guitar was actually plugged in on a long guitar cord as he was going up there. Like, he never really hurt himself on it, as far as I know.
No.
But it certainly was a daring thing to do night after night.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I still can't believe he never broke his wrist from the little doodad.
Well, that was Tommy Edmonds. Really, those 2 guys had that thing down. Tommy would know there was just a certain amount of slack that had to be in the rope when Todd did the flip, and we did it night after night after night after night, of course. So we really fine tuned it, but that was it was pretty amazing actually when we think of it.
It's totally amazing.
Absolutely. Too bad there's just not a lot more video of it.
I know. I was just going to say, I wish there was more video.
Yeah. Since Veggie's on here, there was also a chest and some keys that went along with it, Chris. Do you remember that and what that was for?
You remember the ice guitar, I mean?
Was that what
the chest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Well, the chest was a styrofoam lined wood box.
Okay.
And part of the delivery each day of dry ice, of which several hundred pounds went to Gene McFadden, I don't know how many pounds it was, but it was probably another 150 pounds went into this styrofoam box, and we had a mold and of a guitar shape. It was a white plastic mold, and what we do is we'd stick that into the insulated box and fill it full of water. And by showtime, the thing was like a solid piece of ice. And that was the glass guitar of Sing Ring and the glass guitar. That's how we made that every day. I think we had 2 of them actually, just in case one broke, which occasionally happened. There was a flaw in the cast, in the ice cast. So we did have a spare, as far as I remember. But they had the one that they would bring out and they would take it out and part of the story.
So did they actually use these keys to pretend to open that box? Is that what those were for?
I'm not the narrative is a little bit vague on me. Sorry. So,
That's what we're trying to figure out.
that was the idea. I think each guy got a key. Each guy had a certain trial to survive.
Yeah.
Rogers was, I think Chasms was wind, and Rogers was fire. And Willie, I don't know, I can't remember what he. Oh, Willie's was water.
Yeah,
Water, because he had all the fountains around him.
Mm-hmm.
And Todd, I guess, was what, Earth. And so he climbed the pyramid. So each guy had a trial to survive, and then they each got the keys, and they opened up and unlocked the glass guitar, and that was the story.
That's awesome. So how hard is it to take that big old thing right there and bring it to Ohio? What all you got to do?
The tricky part is none of the supporting structure exists anymore, and had been cut up and sold for scrap before the last time you asked me to do this. So we had to completely devise a whole new way to suspend it. And oh, you have the keys. Look at that.
She's bringing them to Akron.
There you go. In the chest, maybe.
I have the chest too. It's actually in the garage.
Do you have the mold?
No. But the
You don't have the mold.
The styrofoam is still in the chest.
Right, but you don't have the mold.
No, I never had the mold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you were talking about.
So I have a genie. I have a genie lift that I use on other lighting projects, and I rigged a way to hoist the whole thing. What you do is you hoist it separates at the lips, like right here. Mm-hmm. Right, and that's a bottom piece that goes into a fitting in the top piece. So what you raise the top piece enough to be able to get the bottom piece, the chin, what we call a chin, up into it, and bolt that in. And on the sides, I mean, there was this whole metal steel superstructure that used to support the sides, but I used 2 pipe bases with 12-foot poles on them and a T on the top, and that was my solution to how the side wings that are blue and gold. Mm-hmm. That's how I supported that. So
it looks great. I mean, it looked like a lot of work though, and you had a big van and heavy. I bet
took a big crew to bring it all into the hotel ballroom that day.
Well, I'm hoping you guys are going to supply that.
Yeah, we'll help you out. We got some workers. Michael Radman, Bill Weeks have been begging to help out. We got other people. We'll help you out. But it took 3. You brought 2 people with you last time, or just 2 of you?
I brought 1 with me last time.
There was 2 of you. Yeah, okay.
But if you had enough help, I'd save you a hotel room and maybe just do it myself. If you had enough labor on that end, would that be of interest to you?
We can make that work. Yeah, absolutely. Plenty of volunteers. Y'all know how to find us. Let's put it in here.
Yeah, I mean, if I had 4 guys, we could easily set it up. I don't know what the distance is from the load in is like.
Email.
If I had to, I don't know how. We're not going upstairs or in elevators or anything, are we?
Not an elevator, but the stage is up. So I don't know. There may be. I don't know if there's stairs. You kind of
The
go in
stage
like
is
a.
probably about 5 feet off the, the pit.
There's
the
a
orchestra
there's a
pit.
truck space you can go in. So I don't know that you would have to. With that lift, you might not have to use these stairs. But I could probably send you some pictures.
Yeah, that would be great. Well, is there a loading dock that is level with the stage?
Probably.
I don't know if it's level with the stage.
Well, I mean, when shows go in there, I mean, I have no idea what kind of theater this is.
It's 1,000 people type. It's a nice old.
Great. Well, I'm sure they have a loading dock that trucks pull up to in the back. That's stage level. Yep. And then we just roll it in from there. There shouldn't really be a problem. I can bring a ramp, which would help.
Yep. How heavy? You know how much that thing weighs?
It's made out of foam and a little bit of steel. I mean, two of us can lift it easily.
Okay, cool, perfect. Yeah,
and the lift that supports it, you just need to roll. It's too heavy to lift.
Mm. Okay, so let's shift gears just for a second.
Sure.
Since we dissected Maurice and the Raw tour, you did a lot of video of Clearly Human tour, and people were kind of like, "Where is the video? Is there going to be a DVD or anything like that?" So,
for which tour?
The Clearly Human, the COVID tour.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Are you going to release any of that?
It's not up to me. I would love. I have 2 shows in the can that really need to come out. Okay. That's one of them, and we recorded every night of the virtual tour, and it took a long while for that to really come together, longer than you'd think, because the lighting on Todd didn't look very good for a long while. It was he looked almost like he was. This color wasn't good. It was too washed out. I finally got the lighting designer, who was a good friend of mine, but I finally got him to warm up Todd's look with more warmer, pinker, and more amber gels in the light that was on Todd. So Todd looked healthy, and there was by far the best show was the next to the last show. It was the one that we called Portland, Oregon. And Todd was wearing these marijuana-inspired pants. And we were, whenever you record Todd, there's a certain thing that you've got to take into consideration. And that is, how's his voice going to be tonight? And when he does 3 in a row, the third one, it's a little rough sometimes. And the first one, maybe he's warming up a little bit. But we were waiting for that. Once we achieved the lighting breakthrough, we were waiting for the show where his voice was the best. And I think it was probably 5 or 6 shows. And finally he got a night off. I think we did 2 nights on and 1 night off for the whole 7 weeks. And so he would have had a night off before the next to the last one. And his voice that night was absolutely fantastic. It was really, really great. So that show is in the can. We had 3 different multi-track audio recordings of it. Every camera is ISO'd. It's all in my archive, and I can never get anybody in management interested in putting it out. So that's one of them, and maybe you can do a groundswell from your fan base. But I mean, there's no reason why that show couldn't be post-produced. I mean, it would take an investment in editing, and Todd would have to mix it. But that's not a big deal.
Such a great
The other show that I have was done. It was in 2017, and it was in Kingston, New York, and it was the White Knight tour. Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
that one too.
I was at that show. Yeah.
That one, that's another one that I personally financed the recording of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I could never get them interested in putting it out. But that is also in the can, ready to go. There's probably a few other ones that that never really saw the light of day as well. But
so take that. Let's take that White Knight one. So, is it because there's something wrong, they don't want to do it, or is it just nobody wants to invest in it? What's the drawback to letting it out?
You know what? That is a question, for Eric, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it increasingly difficult to communicate with him. He had a major medical event happen in his life. And ever since that, it's been very, very difficult to communicate with him. And so I make the pictures and the business people figure out how to market them. And
sure.
It pretty much ends there. Now, you're an enterprising guy. You've always been willing to step into the middle of this situation. And, who knows? Maybe if I'm more than happy to do the post-production on these. I'm sure you could get Todd to mix them,
Sure. We had, during that tour, coincidentally, the Clearly Human tour, we had Eric on the show for, I don't know, Mel, how long? Mel, I was at the show, so Mel was doing it. At least an hour?
An hour. Yeah, it was a great
maybe we can get Eric on and give us some grief. Get this thing going. Matter of fact, the way we did AWATS, Chris, going way back, was we had Eric on the show when we did the podcast, and we asked him about it, and then we said, well, we'll do it. And then that's ended up what happened. But anyway, people want these videos really bad. Now, today, how would you do a video? Is it do you do DVD, or would it be a download? I mean, what's the current thing for these?
What would the delivery be?
Yeah.
It would be streamed, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's some, maybe you would hook up with somebody like Nugs. There's a number of rock and roll streaming services, and maybe you could do a subscription that way. It's hard to make money on these things, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But in 2008, when everything went down with financially, we had been doing. It's just at the dawn of streaming video over the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And when 2008 came and nobody had any money or were too scared to invest in any kind of production, I decided, well, I got this great truck and I got a crack crew. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to promote my own. And so that's what I did. And we would do it on a absolute shoestring. And we did, I'm sure you've seen a lot of these, the Keswick Theater one. Mm-hmm. We did, was that your show?
Mm-hmm. Which one?
Keswick.
The Keswick Theater outside of Philly.
Absolutely. Yep.
So we did that one, and that was a great show. I did one, what do they call it? The not unforgettable, not unbreakable, the unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
We did that in City Winery in New York City.
Oh yeah, I was at that show too. Yeah. You would do
you were at that show? That was a 3-camera shoot, very simple, with a truck parked outside. We had great interviews right on the street with all the guys. And but it just, and I tried to market it as a pay-per-view, and we would get subscribers, and I forget what we would charge, $15.95 or something like that for a ticket to it.
Mm-hmm.
But then the fans got too smart. And the fans decided not to buy the subscription, and they, so one of them would, or something like that, and then it would be out, and then there was no revenue for us. So it became financially impossible for us to continue to produce them.
Yeah, like
and that particular show, I think I had 300 subscribers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was just enough for me to cover my crew and the diesel fuel it took to get the truck down there.
Yeah. And
in terms of my own participation and the editing and all that stuff, that ended up being completely uncompensated. But through all of this, I have always made it my goal to see Todd Rundgren's work and his art transcend into the next generation. And I know that you also, that's a main theme of what you guys do. But I also did that in my own way, and so I was happy. Even if I didn't make money, I was happy to document and to preserve this for future generations.
Yeah, people still
and
watch.
So that's what I do. But a funny thing is, so a year later, I was talking to Lynn Robnett, who was Eric Gardner's secretary or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she pointed out to me that my little thing that I had 300 subscribers for and barely made a dime on, didn't make a dime, had 70,000 views on YouTube. It broke my heart. I'm telling you, it really did.
I bet.
Brutal.
So in terms of these new things, how you would market them?
To be determined.
You could probably find a distributor.
Yeah.
I mean, I just did a documentary for John Sebastian, and I'm working on a second one, and for a filmmaker in Cleveland, and the first one's on Amazon. And a distributor bought it and put it up there.
Yeah.
I would imagine that something like that might be able to be marketed. The guy that really has all the connections as far as that stuff is Eric.
Yeah.
So he needs to be motivated to, sell it to a record company or find some way to monetize it, But I'm ready to work. If you can figure out a scheme.
Something like that. All right. Well, Veggie, we appreciate you coming back and reliving that story again. Good talking to you.
Yeah, nice seeing you again.
Yeah, I'll see you in Akron, I guess, in a couple of weeks.
I hope so. Good.
All right.
Don't forget the keys.
Okay, so Chris, before I let you go, we got I think I've talked to you about this. I hope so anyway. Bill Bricker's gonna try to recreate the stage as much as possible with the pyramid and things, not like the exact material, but I don't know, let's, for lack of a better term, a theater stage prop type thing. But it'll look just like the pyramid and some other things. So I don't know if he has some questions for you about any of that, Bill. Before we let Chris go, just if you got a question about any of the design that you need to know, knock it out.
Well, what I'm doing is for one night only. It's basically going to be cardboard and cardboard tubing. I formerly just left a business where I'm retired now, busier than ever, but they do large format graphics, and much of the graphics, the fabric, the vinyl comes on these 4-inch, very thick cardboard tubes. So I've got those set out. I'm starting to paint those gold. It's just going to get the effect of the pyramid, and I'm going to fashion something that looks like steps. You won't actually be able to use them. But the main question is, I'm approximating heights. It's all going to be cardboard, so we can fold and cut the cardboard down. But I'm seeing that where the way Maurice is positioned there, that his chin, the bottom piece of the chin, actually is another 4 feet off the ground. And that's what I'm building, is the cardboard that would be the facade of the base of the shoulders and coming out into the feet. So that's just a matter of how high you're going to hang the head, right? You just winch it up there.
Yep.
And as long as we have clearance in the theater, I'll put the pieces underneath it, so it looks like the part that's holding the head up.
Well, I mean, last time in Akron, we brought, and then you've seen the pictures from in Akron, right? Last time.
Yeah, I was there. It seemed like it was.
You were there. Okay, so we had the what we call I don't know what we call it, the hair, I guess. Those things that had the blue and the gold stripes on them, right?
Right.
Well, there are actually 2 other pieces that I still have. We didn't have the clearance the last time to be able to put those. But we called those the shoulders, and they sat right underneath the blue and the gold stripe pieces, right? And if you
like a trapezoid, and then there's 2 arcs that go out either side that have like a blue pattern.
I have those.
Oh, great! Yeah, if you can bring them, I think there's enough room in the theater to.
No doubt.
Well, I'm gonna this week. I'm going to get one of my guys over here, and we're going to set this thing up again. And I think you should get my email from Doug and send me your contact info. And I think we should coordinate, exactly, as I build this thing, we can coordinate exactly, what you're making and what I'm bringing
This is
can do it. Now, what is the band? The band is going to be in front of this thing. Are they going to be on the floor? Well, they're on the stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a proper theater.
Yeah.
Right.
So
it still would be nice if there was a riser on the stage for the drums, because that's the way it looks in RAW. That the pyramid is there, and then set to the back of the pyramid is Willie's stage is elevated, and the fountains go all around that. I don't think we're going to be able to pull the fountains off.
Or a motorcycle.
And then there's the shoulders, as you say, and the feet come out left and right, just about inside where the pyramid base goes down to.
Right.
But if somebody has any kind of drum riser,
well, I will bring an 8x8 riser.
There you
go. A portable riser. It's sitting right outside the shop. It's nothing for me to throw it in. It's brand new. I just used it for Hillary Clinton at 13.
Ask and we shall receive, I guess.
What's that?
Ask and we shall receive. That's fantastic.
There you go. All right, so I'll throw 2 of those in. One thing you got to keep in mind is that the lift, the feet of the lift protrude forward.
Okay.
Underneath that stage.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think last time we had like a temporary stage, didn't we, Doug?
Yes.
Well, that was
all
in
right.
the ballroom, though.
Yeah.
Right, but the point is, since you had a temporary stage, we were able to move the stage out a little bit or something like that, get the lift in, and so the feet were actually underneath the rear of that temporary stage.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in this case, maybe the feet would be underneath this drum riser. We'll just set it up here in the shop and see what it looks like. You should plan on now that riser is 2 feet tall.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. What's your first name again?
Bill.
Phil. Okay.
Bill.
Phil, you. I'm sorry.
Bill with a B. Bill with a
Bill.
B.
Bill.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So you should plan on dressing the front of that riser. It's 2 feet tall. It'll be 8x8. So you'll need 8, 8, and 8. You'll need 24 feet of material, and maybe you could Velcro onto the front of the edge of the riser or something like that. Otherwise, you're going to see all these legs, and that's not going to look very good.
No, we'll make it blocked. And if I step it up with my buddies at my former employer, they do things on fabric with Velcro all the time. The very least, we'll have cardboard that'll dress it out.
All right. Well, just remember, it's 23 and a half inches tall. That riser. I had to extend a stage at Columbia University for a 13-week class I did for Hillary Clinton. It was called Inside the Situation Room, and the stage wasn't big enough. So we extended the stage. The existing stage was 23 and a half inches tall, and these risers came, and they were 24 inches tall, which is a standard size. So we had to go through and cut every half an inch off of every leg on all of them. So I don't know how close you need it to be, but they're 23 and a half inches tall.
Well, if I do the fabric, that's an easy adjustment with a fold. If I do the cardboard, I'll have my tools with me. We can just trim it down. It's gonna be great.
Great.
Awesome.
All right. So I'll see if as long as we have like unlimited clearance here.
I think it's
I'll plan on providing the shoulders, but there's a chance that may make the whole thing too tall, and we may want to just go with the way we had it before. I won't know until we actually set it up, because I don't think I've set it up with those shoulders recently. I certainly don't have a way. I don't have a way to support those, but we can figure out something.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to go ahead, and I've already designed them, so I'm going to go ahead and make my cardboard pieces, because those are very malleable. We can fold them. They're easy to move, cut, position. So it'd be great if we have the original, but if that doesn't prove to be feasible, but I think we've got like 30 feet of clearance, if I remember the dimensions from the stage.
That's big. I'll get that.
Right,
for
but you don't want it so high that it's not really backing the band. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's like 10 feet over their heads, it's not going to be very good.
Might fall too.
So, well, all right. So, can you hook us up there, Doug?
No, we'll do
Bill
that.
and I?
Absolutely. Yep.
And then I'll designate a week next week to pull all these pieces together and to actually set it up and see if I remember how to do it. And we had lights in the eyes last time, and I was thinking of getting some sort of party light and put it in the third eye,
Yes.
something like that. It won't be any big deal. It'll just be some like a multicolored DJ thing,
Cool.
But I think it'll be good, and we'll have some sort of control over, how you want to do that. I think we also had some lights on the floor, didn't we, Doug, to sort of light the whole thing? I think.
Did we?
I don't remember that. I remember the eyes, but I don't know about maybe.
No, but I thought we had some lights so we could light the whole thing up. Like maybe, I think we had a floodlight on either side and some dimmer control of that, and so we could light it. I think. I don't know. I don't remember exactly.
Remember that part. Very good.
All right.
All right.
Bring a truckload.
Just bring it on. Yeah.
All right, Doug. You and I will be in touch.
All right, man. Sounds good.
Thanks for the financial support so far, and I'll let you know whether you can let one of these hotel rooms. If you can give me 4 guys on the in and the out,
Okay.
I'll save you a room for 2 nights.
I'll see what I can do.
Count me for one. I'm in.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, if you volunteer, you get first view.
Are you coming Thursday or Friday?
When's the party?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Party
No,
Thursday.
Wednesday or Thursday. Party's Thursday.
Is,
Todd's gig's Friday. The party's Thursday. We have access on Wednesday.
Right. I'm traveling on Wednesday. We'll set it up Thursday morning then.
Okay. Perfect. But you could get in Wednesday if you wanted. At some
Yeah,
point.
I don't know if I want to do that after driving 10 hours though.
Oh yeah, probably not. Okay. Very good. All right, sir.
I'd rather not have to count on that, just in case there's some problem with the truck or I'm delayed for some reason or whatever. I'd rather just say 10 o'clock. Now, if we plan 10 o'clock the day of the party, does that work for you?
Yeah, it'll work. Mm-hmm.
So you can set up your labor for that?
Yep.
Great. All right.
All right,
Mel,
Chris,
nice seeing you. Doug, always a pleasure. Nice meeting you, Bill.
Same here.
Thanks,
All right, man.
Chris.
See you next.
Sure.
See you soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Chris Anderson, everybody. Gotta love Chris. Great guest on Run the Radio podcast years ago.
Oh my gosh, he is just a dream there because I've been wondering about all those parts of supporting parts. He's got them all.
Yeah.
I'll have some for backup.
Mm-hmm.
I'm continuing to make the pyramid, the shape of the pyramid, the right height, but I've got it set up so that the feet, the way it's just like big Tinker toy. There's these holes that are from 8 feet down to 4 feet in length, and you put them together and push them up at the top, and then we'll anchor the feet with good old duct tape. And
no climbing. No climbing.
Yeah.
So
I do have a cutout of Todd climbing the pyramid with his guitar. So that I think it supports.
Yeah, I see the picture. I've shared the picture. Yeah. So long story short, people over here, as you can see, there is a lot that is going into this stage production, and we haven't even talked yet, which we're going to talk tonight about the video part. We're going all in on this thing. It is go big or go home. So if you're going to watch the live stream and you got a little extra fun, donate. If you don't have any, that's fine too. But we're going to do the live stream. It's going to be really nice. But Bill, I'm going to come back to you because it's almost an hour, and we promoted this as a Secret Society video debut. I want to do it before the hour's over. So we'll come back. If you can hang, right?
I'm here.
Okay. Everybody knows they got kind of we're all over the place tonight. We also are expecting another special guest later. Okay. So let's cruiser mail. Let's bring in Jamie and Dan and see if they got something they want to add before we show this video.
Well, howdy, everybody. If Chris is looking for 4 guys, get a pencil and paper. Daniel Isbeck, Fernando Perdomo, Tim Longfellow, and Dan Cicluna.
Yeah. We'll have 10 guys, Yeah. We always get people asking to help. So that's not going to be an issue.
I thought
And
the
then you
same,
may have a couple people too. So. Yep, great.
the same
Don't
thought,
hurt
Jamie,
yourself.
when he's like, "When are we going to get 4 guys?"
Just don't hurt yourself. You got to play, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. So tell us about this video before we play it, or do you want us to play it and then tell us about it?
Well, no, we'll kind of set it up a little bit. We're super excited about the party. Looks like there's going to be, by the time all is said and done, about 200 people there, and hoping even more jump on board before then. As a band, our band is spread across. Daniel's from Brazil,
worldwide.
LA, Dan's in Boston. I'm near Scranton, and Tim is near Akron, Ohio. So, we're always rehearsing separately. So we decided to put together a song, record a song. And again, it was all recorded separately. And we wanted to do a video and, to be able to present here and pump up the party a little bit. And, as fate would have it, we had some delays. We had some, life got in the way of us, doing this, and got delayed a little bit. But then Daniel bailed us out. He got some software off the internet, and he put together kind of a unique video, kind of different than what we normally would have done. But we think you might like it. What do you think, Dan?
I agree, and I think it was I think we made a good song choice. It's one that's been around. Obviously, it's an old classic, but I think it's one of those that has relevance today. So it was fun making it, and look forward to having you guys check it out.
So Daniel did I've seen it, obviously. So the majority part Daniel did, or who did that for you?
Daniel.
Okay.
Daniel found some software on the internet to put it all together.
Okay. All right. Are we ready? Cruiser Mel.
I am. I haven't seen it yet.
That's right. I'm the only one.
Dan, how do you do this? I feel like Chris reaching the wrong way. Dan,
The poll.
Over that way.
Perfect.
High five, Jamie.
A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Show
Exactly.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Good
Very
comments in
good,
the chat.
guys.
Yeah.
You got us in the mood now. We're ready to
Cool.
party.
Yeah.
As usual, our set list will be Utopia heavy. There
Oh,
will
yeah.
be some Todd songs in there, but probably 80 to 90% of our set list usually ends up being Utopia songs. And as you alluded to in the last show, our super duper special guest is going to be Mary Lou Arnold Gress.
Mhm.
And she's going to bring the house down. And we're hoping that Chasm's going to have time to join us. And we've been talking to Bruce McDaniel. So we've got some surprises as well, but should be a fun party.
Well, a matter of fact, you kind of reminded me that, at least not on this show, we haven't said that there is it's a loose theme to the party, but it's things that make you think of Utopia.
That's right. Anything. That's right.
Anything.
Hey, I assume that song will be on the set list since y'all practiced it and learned it.
It very well might be, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? The best way to find out is either come to the party or check out the live stream to see exactly what.
That's right. Man, that good to see Daniel back on there. He's got those parts down, doesn't he?
Daniel's amazing.
He does.
Is his hair really that long? I saw in the pictures down there. Is it really that long now?
Yeah, it's pretty long.
Yeah.
Looks like a rock star.
He is a rock star.
Yeah,
And
he
looking
really is.
forward to having Throw Money make a return too. That'll be fun.
Yes.
What's that?
Looking forward to having Throw Money come back as well.
Oh, absolutely. Throw money up. We should have got them to do a video. What's up with that?
Well, a lot of members there to
Yeah,
gather.
that would be a tough one.
Lots
Yeah,
of
Lynch Sprague's got that under control.
Yes, he
They're going to be awesome. Looking forward to hearing them as usual. So there you go. We'll have to do some more videos down the road, man.
absolutely.
That's fun stuff. Sounds really good. If you come to the party or you watch live stream, you'll get to hear the same band singing a lot of Utopia stuff. And
Do your best to try to actually be there, though.
that would be best, but a lot of people can't make it. There's a big Todd tour going on. They got their shows. They bought their tickets.
Right.
But you can see this party, and you're going to see what we've already discussed. The raw stage setup with Maurice, maybe additional parts to Maurice from the last party. Mary Lou with Secret Society, Throw Money, Secret Society doing their deal. Bruce McDaniel, Chasm, Prairie Bobby will be there. Gil will be there. You know, we may do a roving reporter kind of thing, try to talk to people. Who knows? Just know this. We're going big. We ain't going home. We're doing it all. All in, baby. Partay, as Linda Fisher says. All right.
Yeah, and there'll be cake. Don't worry.
Yep, that's right.
I
And
think most people.
some sandwiches too. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Cake. The cake is key.
I think most people that come to these know that being there is really what it's about. It's virtually is really. I mean, if you can't, you can't. But
Yeah.
it's so much more fun to be there and be with everybody for not
Sure.
just a party night, but for a couple days in a row. So.
Yeah,
And-
hotel and everything. But
and-
this,
Cake. There will be cake.
there will be cake. This, we hadn't got into it yet. We're going to talk to Chris Williams later about it. This video is going to be almost like being there. We talking about multi camera setup, live stream, baby. Don't want to miss it if you're not going to come to this party. And if you're at the party, you can watch it later. It'll be archived forever. Assuming YouTube never closes, which they probably won't.
Yeah.
But, you know, Jamie used to say that about MySpace when he was investing in it.
Who knew? Who knew?
Who knew? All right. All right. What else y'all got to add? Anything else you want to tease us with for this party for Secret Society? Y'all got T-shirts?
Yeah, we had a pre-order for T-shirts. We won't be selling them there. People will be picking them up there because, again, just life got in the way and we had delays. And but you know, there will be people there sporting the new logo as you showed in the video. And Mel's got the the back part of the shirt logo on there, the new eye of the icon on the back of the shirt. So yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
Oh yeah, baby. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys doing that video for us. It was fun. Everybody's excited, and we'll see you guys. Only what, 2-3 weeks, something like that.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I better start baking that cake. Oh my!
You better start getting on it, Cruiser Mel.
I do.
All right.
Thank you, Doug and Mel, for keeping on with this stuff. I really, really appreciate
Keep
it.
on keeping on. We'll see you guys soon. Get
All
back to rehearsal.
Okay.
See you.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Jamie and Dan from Secret Society, lead vocals and drummer. In case you didn't know. If you hadn't seen them yet. I'm very excited about this additional Maurice stuff too. All right, let me show y'all something real quick. I'm like a damn Jerry Lewis telethon here. But I've got from Iron Woman. Let's see if I can get it where you can see
Up
it.
higher. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so there's one.
Now we're feeling hypnotized.
There's the me wee one. Look at that. I think you can see it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, which is the eye, and cool stickers. That's actually green. That's why it's acting weird. Let me show you one that's not green. So Iron Woman sent me these, and I'm going to give it away. So let's see. If you contribute to the GoFundMe by midnight Friday night, I'll do a drawing. Anybody's in there will get in on the action. We'll do a drawing and give that away. There you go.
That's right.
All right. Very good.
So remember that little QR code.
QR code right there?
Yeah.
Right there? Okay. All right. So let's get into the video portion real quick. Mr. Chris.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Is it true? Did you got 8 cameras set up for this thing?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been shooting with 8 cameras and then taking them all and synchronizing it all and editing it together afterwards. But I finally made the big move, and I have an 8 input switcher now. So I'm learning how to do that, and I'm learning how to do a webcast, and I'm hoping to do a test with it Friday.
So you can do it on the fly, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't have it here right now, but it's I'm seeing 8 cameras. I don't have my place is a mess, but but I do have a thing that allows me to record all 8 cameras individually, as well as. Well, my normal thing is I shoot with a bar. I did this for, I think, Secret Society and
Columbus.
In Columbus.
Yep.
And so I have a bar with left, center, right, and wide cameras, a close-up camera with a 20x lens on it, and then a GoPro for the keys and a GoPro that goes in front of the drums, and then another camera handheld so I can get down in there and shoot. My problem is trying to clone myself so I can be in both places.
No. We got people with, like Dan that helped us with our original broadcast from Akron. He's going to be there.
Oh, okay.
Several people that are in video business that'll be there that can help you out if you needed.
Well,
is there a way to do, take that GoPro or take a roving camera and do, if I want to walk around and talk to people, before the show or something like that?
I'll have to see about that. That was a bit of a surprise. Normally I'm set up,
still
in a band, but
for it'd be like in between sets or before, just it would just need sound, just need a mic and then a roving camera. It doesn't have to be, just an idea, because otherwise during the break it just kind of there's nothing there. Background music.
I'll see what I can set up.
Yeah, people
I know it's possible to stream directly into a phone, but yeah, I'll have to play around with that a little bit.
you know, like a host of the Academy
Okay.
Awards or something. Yeah. Walking around. Okay. There you go.
Is that how you see
Personality can do that.
yourself, Doug?
No, you, not me. Wait, you. Yeah. But, you know, it'd be fun to get as many people as we can, fans on there, for
Yeah.
the other people to see that can't make it. If we can, no big deal. If we can't,
Mhm.
we'll make it work otherwise. The main thing is the show and the stage, but it's going to be, I mean, you're talking about putting a lot of work and effort into it. If you got an 8-camera deal, that's a lot.
Well, it's I've got 1,700 videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
That so I've got a certain way that I tend to shoot, and believe it or not, all this equipment that I've been shooting all these, it fits in a roller bag and one tripod bag. So
Yeah.
I've gotten very good at miniaturizing everything. But I haven't shot anything in a while. Um, so been music. I hate. Oh, we cut out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You had issues.
Came back. So
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just something I really want to do, and this should be great, and then be able to not have to synchronize it all afterwards, and be able to just get a live version, and I can tweak it afterwards if I miss.
Sure, yeah. You get one take though on the night of the show. Yeah, that's the truth.
Have a
You're
good
gonna have
time
it all.
too.
Yeah. But you can take it and make improve it if you wanted to. But
absolutely,
it's always best live. You can't. It's because it's going to be a really good show. And we got 2 really good bands, and we're going to have a really good stage set up. A lot of great fans. It's just going to be a lot to see. You got Mary Lou. I mean, this is something people are going to want to watch. I'm confident. So,
okay,
that's good.
Well, I really wasn't sure. So it sounds like it's going to be in an actual theater, and
the Goodyear Theater, same place Todd's playing in the next night.
It's a small theater, but
it's about 1,000, 1,200 square feet. I mean, not square feet. Capacity. It's a big place.
And will there be the option of recording this multi-track also? Will they be using something like an X32 or something like that?
Well, we have Lee doing our sound. That's probably possible. I will. I'll get you in touch with him. The guy that's been doing our sound. Same guy that was in Columbus. He's been done all our shows. So I don't know what he's using these days.
Okay.
But
cool.
If he can't do it, maybe we can find a way to do it. Maybe use the house sound or something. But that's it's always tough to the main problem I've had in anything I've shot is the guitars on stage are always so loud that they don't tend to wind up in the main speakers. And that was so fun learning that from Chris Anderson, is that this putting the amplifier in a road case with a microphone is apparently yet another thing that Todd did before anybody else. Yeah.
He was like one of the first people to do. He was actually the first person to do in-ear monitors.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you've ever watched this. There's a wonderful video, the Les Paul Innovators Award that was given to Todd one year at the National Association, the NAMM show.
Oh, yeah.
And Todd was wonderfully graceful about it. He spent most of his time talking about everybody else who was being honored. John Mayer, who designed all the, part of the Grateful Dead's Wall of Sound, and he makes the best speaker systems out there, he and his wife, and then talking about Les Paul and Les Paul's music. Yeah. But there's this wonderful intro that was done on 3 screens that is, just this about how Todd always pushed the edge on music technology. So anyway, so that was if you ever, I'll send you a link to it.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
I do remember that. I remember when it happened. I don't remember it because it's been a while. But if it's too loud, you're too old.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about if I'm down in the front.
We can have loud guitar. We'll be fine with
it. Because the guitar amps are aimed at the guitarist's knees, but they're aimed at my ears.
Yeah. All right, we'll work on that. I'll get you in touch with Lee. We can talk sound. We got Bill getting in touch with Chris.
Wonderful.
all kind of stuff going on to make sure that you get to see a good live stream and that we get to have a good time if we're there. It's going to be special. There's no doubt. Last time we did one 2022, it was awesome. It was a big hit too. And we did it at the Goodyear Theater. So despite the fact that, we're going to have a couple hundred people there, we still do it like it's a regular concert. So we're facing out to the 1,000 seats, and it's
wonderful.
And the stage is big and awesome. It was really fun to do it that way. We've got a pit we can stand in and dance around. It's people want to sit down, they can. It's a great setup. So and there'll be plenty of room for you to do video stuff, no doubt.
Wonderful.
All right, man.
Thank you very much.
So what's the new stuff you bought for this one? I think you had to buy a couple things, right?
Yeah, I bought a A10 Mini Extreme Pro. Actually, hold on. Yeah, and multi-camera. This at my place is a horrific mess, but
there you go. That's cool looking.
We can't all be organized like Chris Anderson's shop.
Yeah. Well, I honestly, this was a surprise. Anyway, I'm just I've been just been investing in this because, as I said, I really want to get back into doing some more concerts, especially later this summer.
Okay, well, we know Corky goes to everyone that's in town. So your brother. All right. Well, let's too. We need to get a URL for everybody. Figure that out, and we'll be good to go. Well, all right, man. We appreciate it, Chris.
Thank you.
Chatting with you.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks for everything.
Wait to see you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Good deal. All right, everybody. Let me tell you something. That's my new saying. Let me tell you something. He has put a lot of time, money into this deal. It's going to be awesome. I mean, his videos are always good. You can go back and watch some of ours, like the Columbus party even, and see where he has the camera and you can see the drummer, up
Oh,
close
yeah,
and
that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh, I hope he gets a drum cam like that.
It's the real deal, man. Yeah. So we got that. I mean, here's the cool thing about this, really, when you think about what we talked about tonight is how many people so far are being involved and are volunteering to do things to try to make this special and other things. I mean, you look at Chris having somebody that's willing to take Maurice and put it in a church, and move it and do all the stuff they did. The community's always doing things to help out and to preserve things and to make history, keep history and document it. It's really cool how all that happens.
And the guys that volunteered to help Chris, set it up and all that. I mean, I kind of feel like tonight our VV is sort of like a dating app.
Why is that?
Bringing people together.
Yes, bringing people together. Send me his number. Send me his number. Send me her number. Yep, absolutely. We do have a lot of people that are, and I do. Michael Redman's always on top of the list. Bill Weeks has already said, "What can I do to help? What can I do to help?" So I know when Chris says, "Can you get me 4 guys?" I'm like, "Yeah," and it doesn't have to be the band, but if people didn't show up, we have the band there, so we're guaranteed 4 people, and they can help out too. And how fun is it? I mean, think about it. You're getting to be a stagehand for Maurice, set up the Raw stage. It's 40 years old plus and was a big deal back in the day. And, maybe help put Utopia on the map of some sort. All right. So let's bring in Mr. Wibbly Bill Bricker. All right, Bill, you got a lot of information tonight, man.
Yeah. Fantastic information. It's really set my mind at ease. I've been working furiously trying to make something that is the right scale, but also adaptable, because there's so many moving parts to this.
Well, I didn't know Chris had those sides. I'm real thrilled about that, because the more of it we get, the better. And I know
I'll be working on those paws. I've been working, finding pictures and videos. There's very little coverage of the Raw tour. It's really criminal.
I think I had a photo one time.
The time frame, there was the second Utopia album was Another Live, which is 1975. Okay. Then he did Faithful, which didn't have a tour, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 76. Raw is 77. Now, it started at the very end of 76. I have met some fans who said they saw some part of Raw at the end of 76. I saw it in May of 77. By this time, I'm like totally dialed into any news I can find. It was 18 months since his last major tour of getting this thing built and envisioning this and building all this out. And I think a lot of the money, I'm assuming, came from Hello, It's Me, which was on a very slow climb. This Hello, It's Me came out, right? 72.
Yeah.
Which means he recorded it probably in 71. And Bearsville kept pushing it. So when the Todd album came out, which is 50 years ago this year, it had already been delayed by, there was a vinyl shortage. Could you make it? Did 2 LPs, and they tried to make it 1 LP, and that didn't work. And then they finally figured it out. It got released. Utopia album came out. First Utopia live album came out in the fall of that year. So all this stuff is brewing about. And then, but the tour was done because Oops, Wrong Planet came out also in 1977. I can remember going to the beach. I was on a beach trip, so summer wasn't even over yet. And I'm playing Oops, Wrong Planet, which means that's when they just, so it was like it couldn't have been a year that they stuck with rock. And it didn't spark. I mean, I saw it at the Fox Theater in Atlanta.
Nice.
And it was not sold out. 2000
big theater, though.
Not sell out.
Yeah. Big place.
Didn't stop my fun. I was there for all of it. I just some people thought it was pretentious, and other people thought it was bombastic. But Kiss is happening the same time frame. Genesis is going out with giant screens and live stuff happening all the time. ELO in 78 had the whole 78, 79. They did the whole spaceship thing. I mean, Big was it.
Eric was involved with Kiss for a while.
Yeah.
And that's probably where a lot of this crazy stage stuff probably came from. Yeah. Which, nothing wrong with that. I'm glad you got to see it. People got to see it. We're lucky.
I'm very excited to get those parts back. And what I'm bringing though, what's going to happen is I've gone ahead and just made shirts. I've got a few hats. I've got tons of buttons and pins and patches. And what we'll do is, as the night goes, we'll just distribute the gifts accordingly to people that help it happen.
Very nice, Bill.
And it's easier to, I do have a place. You can go ahead if you want to. I'll take the money now. I'm not shy about that at all. You just go to paypal.me/wibworks and make a note. And we'll do it. But I think it's almost better to just keep it funneled into your live stream and your fun that you've got going, and we'll sort it all out.
Wibworks is with an X, right?
Yes.
Wibworks, yeah. Okay.
WIBWORX.
Yeah. So you're the new pen you made of the thing behind you is really sharp looking.
Yeah, and so the description of this was I started with, see if I can do this. All right. There's the pyramid, sphere, and the obelisk. I can't do it. Backwards. Right there is the center of that. That's why I started with that, because that's the first design that I ever did. That was the design that won the contest for the Utopia Redux tour. And I call that one Utopia's Here.
Yeah, okay.
So that one is in the center with the circle around it. The T and the circle form an Ankh. And originally I had that was it. That's all I had.
Oh, yeah.
And I just was looking a little, I like elemental, but it was looking a little sparse. So then I thought I wanted to do 7 rays. So I took the T and I made 7 rays out of it. And it was too many. I couldn't make it jive. And then I came up with the idea that you can see there's a T at the bottom. Then over here is an R. And over here is a U. Right up there. Right there. It's a U. So TRU, Todd Rundgren's Utopia, or True, 550, True, 52 TRU years. So it's Todd, it's Utopia, it's 50 years since my first concert ever. And and then I put the 42524 in the center of it to pinpoint this particular event. So other times, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm not making any plans for the rest of the year. I tried to do that in 2019. I rolled out a lot of plans, and then COVID happened, and plans went away. So
mislaid plans. Right.
I am going to continue to do things as I'm inspired, and I'm really grateful to you guys for getting this kind of focus on this. It's been a great project to be thinking about, and I think it's going to be a fantastic night. And then if something else happens later in the year, fantastic. If it doesn't, I'm okay. But I'm not going to be building up a huge inventory and expecting anything.
No, I get you. Hey,
yeah.
Somebody wants to show me the R again in there. Somebody said they didn't see the R. TRU.
Well, the T is at the bottom, and if you go clockwise, right, the next two rays are the base of the R. It's more like a lowercase r.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Okay. Yeah. There's also, I've got a animation of it too that I don't know. I probably can't do an animated background on here. So it's a little sideways and worked up, but I just like the idea that it's the meaning is in there, but you have to know what you're looking for. And my whole deal, I was really glad to hear what Chris was talking about, the way that what he's contributed to document all this stuff.
Sure.
So there's been some years I made, probably the best year I ever had was the AWATS tour. Thank you again for that. The AWATS design was something that was organic and developed out and had a great life. Most years I don't make any money and I don't plan to make any money. I just make things, and I want fans to have things to talk about. Like people say, like, well, shouldn't you put Todd Rundgren on there? And it's like, Todd Rundgren doesn't mean anything to anybody. The words Todd Rundgren aren't connected. And just look, you're talking about the award he got, the Les Paul Award, and he's not talking about how much technology he did. Utopia had the first multicast broadcast on cable ever. First concert of the decade, 1980s, was simulcast across the country. It had, hundreds of thousands of listens because it did every radio station all the same night and did the very first concert to start the 1980s. And he's always there pushing it, but he doesn't really promote all that. He doesn't talk about it. He just does stuff. And so I like to make things that are talking points. So if you're wearing something and someone goes, that looks cool, what's that? And it's a door to, introduce it. But you've got to kind of dole it out carefully, because if you go gonzo right away, people just glaze over. They don't want to hear about it. So I just keep making things and doing things, and it's great to be inspired by stuff. And Ra was phenomenal effort and so little known. Same time they're doing Ra, he's producing Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell, right? Bat Out of Hell didn't break for like 2 years, 3 years. And when Paradise by the Dashboard Light and came out on video, MTV was 1981. So there's a lot of people who think Bat Out of Hell's like 1980s music. And, Jim Steinman and Meatloaf and Ellen Foley had been doing it for years. Remember, we had Ellen on Rundgren Radio.
Yeah.
I asked her, why did you leave? And she said, I had been doing it and it wasn't working. I've been doing it for years and years and years. And then they got Carla DeVito in the video. And she's the one that everybody thinks is on the album. Ellen seems to be fine with it, but she seems very cool. And she's still out there doing new music and things too. So it's cool. So I will have t-shirts, I will have hats, a few hats, I'll have patches, I will have buttons and pins. And I'm not going to have 15 cutouts, but I've got cutouts of each, life-size cutouts of each of the band. And I'll bring whatever other gear fits in my car.
Did I get it right? Can you see it? PayPal.me/woodworks.
Woodworks. That is it.
Check it out.
That's cool. So, and I'll put another web link on Run Gun Radio, and you have the list of who's contributed. I will make sure those people are, gifted as well.
Awesome.
So if you've already given to the Run Gun Radio campaign, we'll be able to confirm that, and you get a shirt, and you get a shirt.
Yeah. All right.
Everybody gets a shirt.
Yeah. Okay. We're just going to keep doing everything we can to make it great for everybody, whether you're going or not.
I'm glad you're doing the live stream, but my personal goal is to make sure that people that couldn't make it are going like, yeah.
Yes.
No. You got to be there. You got to be there. The Ohio fans are the best.
They are.
They just, I was there. That's where I was when I found Todd. So I relate.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, all right, Mr. Bricker, we appreciate everything.
All right. Thanks for letting me on. And we'll see you guys 2 weeks.
Right.
The show is 2 weeks from tomorrow.
My word. First show of the tour. We get the set list in 7 days.
That's crazy too. That's going to be wild. Yeah. Going to be a wild week. So thank you guys.
Peace out.
Bye, Bill.
All right, Cruiser Mel. Ooh, too much of me. Not enough of you. All right. Let me check. Let me just check on something right quick.
I have a feeling I'm going to have to get, or several people, because even the chat room is confused. Bill is going to have to show us on that symbol where the TR is. Yeah. Because everyone's like, I don't know if I saw it or not. So.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to get one more special guest. So just give me a second.
Right. It dawned on me when somebody was talking. I don't remember who now. They used, I think it's the same pyramid that they used on the cover of the Oops, Wrong Planet. Am I right? Wasn't there a pyramid?
Like on the album cover. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess that was the same pyramid. So they did get more than one use out of it, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So I got at the bottom, I got his website for y'all if you want to check out the tour. Starts in 7 days. They've added shows. Actually, we talked about this last time, but they added a show they're doing at Carnegie Hall that's different. It's Todd.
Oh, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, right?
Yeah, they're doing a tribute to that. But they added a show in Bend, Oregon. Mm-hmm. Small theater, very nice looking. And it claims it has meet and greet, which Todd's not doing anywhere else. And they were like cheap, like $150 for the whole thing, for front row seat with meet and greet.
Isn't that where Michelle is from originally? Ben?
Eugene.
Oh, Eugene. Okay.
It's close to Eugene, Oregon.
Is it?
But so I don't really know why they added that late and why they added a meet and greet, and but that's what they're claiming. So if you want to get in on that, get in on it. Let's see what else we got.
Well, I'm excited because they added a Dallas show after the initial announcement of tour dates. So,
and this tour is huge. They're going all over the place.
Because a long time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's big time.
You cannot say that Todd is lazy.
No, you cannot say that. Absolutely not. All right, everybody. So I'm going to play the Utopia, Secret Society Utopia song one more time.
Oh, good. It's so good. It's so good.
And if our special guest that I'm trying to get comes in, we'll be back. If not, adios. Don't forget. Wait. I feel like I'm making the video with D again. All right.
Oh, God.
Here we go. Hook it up. Now, we don't want people that are going to the party to have to front this whole thing. That's why we're doing a donation thing, because they spent, good money to come there and all that good stuff. So it's really just about paying to watch the live stream. If you got money, if you don't do it. If you can't afford it, that's fine. But if you can, and you're going to watch the live stream, just pitch in a little bit, the power of the people, and we'll get all this knocked out, because there is a ton going into it, as you've seen. And so, we like to do it all. We like to go all in. All right. Let me, where am I? Okay. All right. We're going to play this video one more time. and either we'll be back or we won't. If we're not, we appreciate y'all watching. As always, we appreciate our special guests. We had Chris Williams, we had Bill Bricker, we had Chris Anderson, we had Jamie, we had Dan from Secret Society. Whew, a lot of people. Veggie Girl popped in.
That's right.
All good. Okay. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.